What is happening, everybody? We've got a very exciting safe to go over. Liberty's newest and widest safe, the Collector. First, I want to take a moment. My name is Kevin. I'm with NorCal Safe and Vault. A lot of you are just starting to see this name. This is a new name for us, but we've been around for a very long time. Formerly known as Liberty Safes of Sacramento and San Jose, we've been serving the greater Sacramento and greater Bay Area for just about 30 years. We're a local family-owned business, and we're changing our name because we want everybody in Northern California to know that we're the source of education for those people that are searching for a gun, fire, and home safe. And to be quite frank with you, we are the experts in the end product of gun, fire, and home safe. So our mission is to provide as much information and education as we can so you and your families can make the right decision for yourselves. So we're really looking forward to this new name launch, and thanks for watching this video. Let's get into this thing. This is exciting. So, great big old thing. 60.5 inches tall, 54 inches wide, and 27.5 inches on the box. Now, notice how I said on the box. What else is on this safe? Of course, we've got the handles, and this thing's coming with power. So if you plug this thing in, a safe overall depth dimension is 32.5, maybe even 33. Give yourself a little bit of extra space there, especially if you're putting it in a cabinet or something like that in the garage or a shop. So great big old thing. It's coming in at 1,140 pounds. So a stud of a safe, especially for those of you that got a lot that you're trying to get into a safe. So great big old thing, 54 inches wide. It's going to make it real hard to turn corners. Going to have a very unique home to get this thing into. So for the most part, this thing's going into garages or shops. But I bet you if we ended up getting it in your home, your wife would probably kill both you and me. So let's be a little bit realistic there. Anyways, let's get into this thing. So this is made out of an 11 gauge two-piece body. A two-piece body is unique to Liberty safes. So what they do is they take a great big old piece of steel. This one's 11 gauge. And the top, bottom, and both sides are all one long piece of steel. They put this in a wing bender and form this into the box that you see. They weld it on the bottom. Joint where it meets is on the bottom of the safe from the inside and the outside. Then they take another piece of steel and weld that seamlessly from the inside and the outside. So of course you got the door, but two-piece body, very unique, makes it a lot more rigid and a lot more durable safe. Whereas in a lot of other competitors, you might see, they might boast a thicker body, they might say a lot of things, but the top, the bottom, and both sides sometimes are welded on. Actually, usually are. So several different pieces, which makes for a much weaker safe, especially for those ones that are in the import categories, like you're looking at big box stores, things like that. So two-piece, 11 gauge body, but the real kicker on this, which makes it a lot different than other safes in the Liberty lineup, is they've reinforced the door frame with additional pieces of steel. So they put another piece of steel here, so now that bar that's coming out and locking this thing up is sitting right against another piece of rigid steel. So it's going to make it freaking impressive to try and pry this thing open. But next thing is, it's coming in two different finishes. We've got black textured and gray marble. Black textured is the one you see here. But they're also coming stock with the Securam Pro Logic. Now this is my favorite lock. Reason being is it's very reliable, and it's got two different user codes. So user 1 and a user 2. User 1 is also the supervisory code, which can add or delete that secondary code. Secondary code, all it does is open and closes it. But this little LCD display screen here will light up for you. It'll tell you the amount of volts you have left in your battery at the top right corner. Plus, when you get low, it's actually going to tell you to change the battery. So very useful lock, very popular lock that we put on Franklin's and on up. So like level 5 on up. But next thing, we're going to work our way outside and in. So we just went over the body, we got over the lock. Behind this lock are hardened pieces of steel, a couple layers there. So if somebody's trying to drill through this thing, pop this lock off. I'm gonna take a lot more time to do so. Plus, it's guarded by a relocker. A relocker is a spring-loaded iron bar that will lock into place, seal this thing tight, makes it even harder to get into this thing if somebody's trying to get fancy with you and drill through the front of the lock. Now that's a secondary piece of security there, which you see on every single Liberty safe. That's called a relocker. Very important part to a safe. But next thing is this thing's got a 110-minute fire rating, which on all Liberty safes you'll see on a sticker here. So if you're shopping around, not getting help somewhere at a big box store or something like that, peel that door open, take a peek here. Now, this is 110 minutes at 1200 degrees. So very stout fire rating, especially if you're in rural areas, maybe you're up towards the woods, something like that. So great fire rating. Plus, they're coming with Liberty's Polyasol door seals. Now, those door seals, what those are meant to do is to, once that safe starts to heat up at 212 degrees, these pop like popcorn and expand to much greater than the size that they are right now. And it's going to seal out soot, smoke, and fire, of course, as well. So it's going to lock in all that steam that's cooking in on the inside of the safe. We're fighting heat with heat when a fire occurs. So steam's going to be rolling inside that safe, and steam's not getting hotter than 350 degrees. But the outside might be 12, 1500, something like that. So for 110 minutes, 1200 degree fire, you're good. Anyways, going to the next thing. So these bolts, very impressive bolts. They've got 12 quarter-inch bars all over the door. So that's on all four sides. You've probably seen these props. We'll get to it in a minute. But top, bottom, both sides, all active bolts on the collector. Very impressive amount of bolts for such a big door. Plus, we've got Liberty's unique flat bar technology. Now, this greatly increased the pry protection on Liberty safes. And a lot of times when you're opening these safes, you see this come out of the door, you're like, what the heck, this looks pretty chintzy. And you think that these look nice and stout, but I'll show you why. So this is just a piece of 10 gauge steel that's bent and formed, and then these bolts that you see, these chrome things here, they're just press fitted into that. So they just spin this bolt, push it in, and then it flattens on the other side. So there's no weld or anything holding this together. That's only about a quarter-inch thick. So that's the piece that would break in those pry attacks and pry tests that Liberty would conduct. And they found that these, very simple and quite frankly an ingenious design, greatly increased the pry protection. So on the collector, we got quarter-inch, 12 of these, and they're all 4 inches in length, and it's one solid piece of steel. So the whole bar, this whole thing, all plate steel. Very impressive. So next thing, put these away here. We've got the door panel. So lots of pistol storage here. Got 12 pistol holsters on the door, plus of course some little webbing here for ammo, maybe some magazines. Lots of zippered pockets. There's 6 of them, plus some document storage, cash, photos, deeds, pink slips, whatever you need locked up can be in there. They're not cool pockets, which you can purchase separately. We've got these little cool pockets with little dividers in them. They're about 20 bucks. Put them at the bottom of the safe, get you a little bit of extra fire protection on those sensitive documents and photos and things like that. So this safe, on top of coming with my favorite lock, it's also coming with the deluxe outlet kit, 12-inch dehumidifier, and a 6-1 light kit. So that outlet kit, it's got 3 outlets in it, plus a little bypass. So if you want to lock, wire like a Cat5, you still got an old school security system. You're not on the wireless stuff yet. You can lock up your hard drives in there, have it all connected, so everything's secured. And then of course the lights. I mean, you got to have lights in the safe. You got to know what you're looking at. And if you're buying this thing, you probably got a lot to look at, so you want it to look pretty when you open it. But that's all coming with it. And the next thing is the extreme interior. So that is 3 sections of shelves. So lots of different options you can do here, but everything is adjustable. So you can do just all guns if you want. If you want to go crazy and go all shelves, go for it. Or kind of make it a little bit more modular, find it how you like it. So we've got the shelf set up in the middle here for quick and easy access to all the standard items that you're going for every day. but plenty of gun storage. And they rate this as a 72 gun. Now, of course, it's not going to fit 72 of a mix of guns. So it's going to depend on what you have. For me, I would say this is a pretty good chance of getting 50 to 60 in there, depending on what you got. So scopes are going to take up more room. I have a bow in my safe. That takes up a lot of space, but it's definitely worth locking up, by the way. So just depends. You know, if you got 50 to 60 in here, you did a really good job. If you got 72 Red Riders, then you're going to fit them all. Anyways, so we've covered the door. We've covered the shelving. That pretty much covers it, guys. So I thank you very much for watching the video and tuning in. And oh, that bolt's in the way. But really, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this quick overview of the safe today. We've got this in both of our showrooms in Sacramento and San Jose. If you want to come just admire this thing, or if you're shopping for another safe, you need a little bit of education on what will be the best fit for you, come on down and see us, give us a call, or visit our website. And we look forward to seeing you guys. Hope you have a good one. Stay safe.